I think I'd have more success picking the lottery numbers. So I'm going to sit firmly on the fence with
well
that
done.
question.
We've got some company, because that's what we've all said.
I think my favourite UK Open memory would be Nathan Aspinall's 170 to win it 4 years ago now. It was a lovely moment, his first major triumph a couple of months after he reached the semi-finals of the World Championships, and maybe there will have been a few who would have thought, is that a flash in the pan? He certainly proved it wasn't, and the celebrations with his granddad as well just put the cherry on top of the cake there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
56.
Van Veen is handily placed, but now Robert gets a chance to erase the gap a little bit more on double 10.
Double 5.
Game shot in the fifth leg.
Right in the corner.
Weird like contest, but maybe the one that most people remember, Johnny Clayton doing a go Johnny go on a 9-darter, beating Chris Dobie 10-8. That was back in 2020, around 4 weeks before most sports shut down for obvious reasons.
80. January Choir, 81.
Treble 19. He doesn't have to go 12 and bull, and sensibly chooses 49. Not to. Robert Owen way back on 215.
From here on out, it's going to have to be some sort of blitz for Owen. He's going to have to find one of those 3-leg spells that is somewhere between maybe 39 and 42 darts. It may even have to be better, because Van Veen is striding towards round 2 with a really good performance here.
Well, he'll be really disappointed with this, Owen, considering that he has had a good run in this tournament before. In this contest, he's got it in this leg. And he'd love another maximum. And he gets one. Fist pump from the Dutchman. And Robert Owen is seeing his UK Open chances evaporate here.
How has that gone in? I'm amazed he stayed there. He could have gone to the 17s, but now it's 6 darts from one of our favourite numbers here of 127. And it's all about the layup. Really good, mature stuff from GVV. It's all about the acronyms in Dutch darts. Could it possibly be another title for MVG? You have to stay tuned throughout the coverage to see, but it's Van Veen for the win.
3 at double 16. Saw problems with it in leg 1, but we don't see any problems with it here, because Jan van Veen has opened stage 2 of the UK Open and he's looking to make the most of it as well. James Richardson does apply some pressure, so 150 would lay down a massive marker for this match, and it's on. He chose to stay there rather than go to the clean double 18 bed, but it looked like a pretty good marker. 55 now for Richardson. And there we go, right in the middle of the tops bed. And it's 2-1. Oh, it looks like Richardson's the one that's going to snaffle it, because Trickle made a fast start to this game, but he's just wilted slightly.
I can actually see in the background James's wife, and she is chewing on fingernails right now. An awful thing to do for your partner, to sit in the front row and watch, powerless, as your husband tries to book his place into the cash.
Terrific setup. Now can Trickle do what Richardson did in the last leg? He'll only get one opportunity, and he doesn't take it, and that's almost near where the single 16 landed. A poor dart from the Frenchman.
What a marker that is. And well used as well. Richardson has now won 5 straight legs.
Seen him take out 96 already. Big ask for James Richardson. But he's got a dart at the bull. Oh, and James Richardson couldn't win it in great style then. 96 for Thibaut Trickle, and not only will it take the game to a last leg decider, he'll have the darts as well.
78.
Again, he's had his chance to keep this match going. Now it's a case of Richardson getting the job done. on double 4. And he does get the job done. This time, Thibaut Trickle cannot get himself out of the quicksand, and it's Richardson who will go to the main stage to take on Richie Burnett in round 2. Starts to start leg 6. Things are starting to look up for, I'm going to say, the Dutchman now. I think the young Dutchman is a little bit unfair to some of the younger stars. I think Jeffrey is very much a developed and established talent now.
100. Lucas, you require 170.
Yeah, not the young Dutchman, not the middle-aged Dutchman, just the Dutchman. That'll do. 170 will do for Weinig. A 170 will do. Oh, it's not too far away. We've seen him do that on the Euro Tour before against Chris Dobie last year. But Deswan to make it 4 legs on the bounce. Oh, and he pins the bullseye. He does what Weinig couldn't. He had to hit the single 12 because he couldn't take the risk of going for treble 10. And Deswan does win 4 on the bounce. He just gives the crowd a little bit of a glance there.
Yeah, why he is such a good player in his own mind.
I thought you were going to say he was doing dumbbells or basket curls or something then. Wouldn't surprise me.
Honestly, he could pick me up and use me as a dumbbell. But right now, it's Desvan who is picking Lucas up and throwing him out of the tournament.
Treble 19 then for double 12. Now he pins it. Jeffrey Desvan gets a win at the UK Open. It's something of a rarity these days for the Black Cobra.
Purely because he wanted to get under 130 to make the shot a bit easier. The thought was right, but the execution wasn't.
Well, it's a big ask for Josh, but 152 might need to go at this stage, otherwise it's a double break for Bioweskey, and it's not going to go this time. He's finished 1 leg on double 4 so far. And he finishes another nicely done from the young Pole. 4-0 up now, and it's been a real baptism of fire to the UK Open stage.
More than 102. It hasn't happened that often. In fact, when it comes to UK Open history, tournament averages, the record is Phil Taylor in 2015. Here, 107.82. Taylor again in 2009 in Bolton, 107.38. He's actually got the top 4 tournament averages as Taylor. Van Gerwen in 2015, over 105. So it's very unlikely that someone is going to average that for the tournament. So Pilgrim might do it again.
So for another leg for Josh Richardson. Straight ton finish.
One of these days, someone's going to try 2 bullseyes.
Today is not going to be that day, but it could be tops. It is tops. And I think that was more sensible than 2 bulls.
Oh, yeah.
But it was more
missing them. I love that route from 233. That was really, really good counting from Bioweskey, but he couldn't find the 25 to leave the finish, giving Richardson a chance at equalising this game at 4 legs all. Now he's got the luxury of the second visit because Bioweskey missed the bull.
Yeah, the first 2 were well thrown darts, the third one a bit stray, but it doesn't matter how far away you are from the treble, if it's not in, it's not a great dart. That's a great dart. And Josh Richardson has made this one 4 apiece. This would be some way to win it, but he can be conservative on this visit.
Now, he was either going for 2 treble 19s and double 17, or he was going to go some other sort of route. That was a bit odd. Oh, did he have 130 instead of 148?
I think the graphic was wrong.
That makes more sense to me then, as does that switch. But it's over to you, Josh, for the win.
52 required. Oh, that wasn't as easy as it looked, but that was. And Josh Richardson from absolutely nowhere. He looked down and out, 4 legs down. He was averaging in the mid-60s, but he's come back, he's made a real blitz. Now you've got to get yourself to the main stage. Forget the celebrations, James. He gets a cuddle from someone who's with him. What a day for the Richardson family. They're both into round 2 of the UK Open. Fantastic performance. It's Josh Richardson 6.
It's 1 per leg so far. He's keeping up the trend. We may even get more people watching the next game than people watching the main stage, because Rusty Jake against Littler, oh, delightful.
Well, I mean, everyone will want to keep up the progress of Luke Littler. And there's about 10 dozen Rodriguez's in the family, so they'll all be tuning in. And Dongen wants tops. And he makes the most after a really poor first start. Tidies up very well indeed.
If you're not aware, Jules van Dongen is very much a fan of...
This one might have to go. It's not going to go. So, a break opportunity then for Kevin Doets.
Kevin requires 62.
Another 15. Leaves double 16.
30.
Wide of the mark. Maybe Van Dongen does have a chance now.
100.
Gets the treble and now tops. One more chance.
80.
And he's blown it. And maybe this is where Doets can establish a bit of an advantage.
What doesn't really look good right there is the margin of the miss for Van Dongen. When Doets misses, it's not by much, but he's not missing there. 4-2 up is Kevin, and the sigh of relief is very evident. When Van Dongen was going for tops there, he was missing by over a centimetre. At this level, that's a big, big miss.
Rueful shake of the head from Jules.
Joining Ross Montgomery if he disposes of that 96, but does Van Dongen have another card to play?
Well, it puts pressure on the 96. Where does he go here? Double-double. Oh, and he's missed the big number as well. He's done what Van Dongen did a few legs back, so now 60 for the pendulum to swing once again.
Last thing he needs is a grandfather clock dart. He doesn't even need the third one. So this one goes on a little bit longer, but for how long is very much up to the Dutch Dragon.
Still very... Come on, he says. Double 8. And maybe things are going to get interesting again.
Things will be very interesting if this gets plugged. Must find the 57.
47.
Doets now should surely book his spot in the next round.
8.
But is he scarred by missing in the bottom left of the board 3 times? There's your answer. Not scored at all. He comes through a decent contest. Ultimately, Jules van Dongen just left himself a little bit too much to do, so he falls at his first hurdle in the 2023 UK Open. But Doets, one of those darts being a bit precarious in the board. He didn't want to displace it, so he thought about maybe switching. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Well, that visit before shows the maturity he's got. He's got a head on his shoulders, and he's really thinking about the game rather than just being crowd pleasing.
Age aside, this is an awful draw for Rusty Jake because he's playing someone who's playing at the top of their game. We're talking about the JDC Junior Champion. Someone who, wherever he goes, he wins.
59.
He might not be a bad loser because predominantly he doesn't lose.
Game shot, the full flag. Fifth leg, Rusty.
Luke Littler isn't the only 16-year-old here this weekend. Thomas Banks also qualified via the amateur route, and he had a very good draw because he had a bye, a grand in the pocket. Thank you very much.
Just like that. Nathan Rafferty, Graham Usher's beaten John O'Shea 6-5. Things are getting very interesting out there.
I mentioned as well, Darryl Pilgrim lost with a average of over a ton. Jose Justicia might join that club because he's averaging 101, but he's 5-4 down against Mickey Mansell. Scratch that, 6-4 to the Irishman. So Justicia out, averaging 99 though, so not quite part of that club. Tops now for Littler.
Game shot in the seventh leg.
And he's 1 leg away on throw as well. I think he's 80 points away from a match against Richie Edhouse. 20 for tops.
40.
Well, you almost think it's just delaying the inevitable because Rusty Jake's not on a finish. He's hurling the darts now. 45. He looks angry. He looks frustrated.
Luke, you require 40.
No one wants to lose to a kid. But Rusty Jake Rodriguez has 16-year-old Luke Littler progresses into round 3 of the UK Open. He does not look overawed in the slightest, and Richie Edhouse will not be looking forward to facing the young man. I can assure you of that.
Stopped that streak in 2010 against Gary Anderson, ultimately in a game that he would lose.
137.
Matt Campbell might lose this if he doesn't pick himself up, because Christopher Holt to go 3-0 up. Double 10. He's hit double 5 before.
75.
Doesn't hit it again.
Matthew requires 66.
He's gone for the bull. That's a happy accident because now he's got a shot. Oh, he hasn't got a shot. Matthew Campbell. What a big mistake.
49.
That was what you'd call a rage dart.
Yeah, that one was possibly on fire.
Like the hair on the back of his shirt. But he's got another chance because Holt can't take out 5. An awkward finish. Awkward potentially for Matt.
9 score.
I really do think that this game has gone too quick for Matt Campbell. I think Holt is playing very comfortably at this pace. And he's drawing Campbell into the game that he's comfortable with. But it's Holt who's at the halfway point. Campbell yet to score.
3 legs in, I really like.
164.
Fair to say that,
64.
yes, Campbell has missed a fair few doubles in this match.
96.
But Holt has been there a lot of the time. Double 8.
80.
He's that far away from a 4-1 lead.
100.
He's one of those spotters nightmare players, I think. Tops now for Campbell.
Game shot in the 5th leg. Matt Campbell.
Hits it.
6 legs.
3-2.
To throw first. Game.
About your MVGs, your Prices and your Wrights and your Michael Smiths. Don't be thinking that you're going to come through against Matt Campbell. He's a tough draw.
Well, you mentioned the word when we were watching Van Dongen as Holt goes for 151. Flag bearer. We've had John Part as the flag bearer of Canadian darts. Matt Campbell could be taking that mantle over.
Yeah, with Jeff Smith, good pal of his. He's travelled with him. They've played brilliantly together at the World Cup. The only thing better than being the flag bearer is having some assistance with it. Double 10 again. And this time he doesn't get it wrong. Now has the lead for the second time.
Could be a happy accident.
6 scores.
But it's not. It's a chance for Campbell to break before potentially the last leg of the game.
Double-double maybe. He's looking south at 19s. He gave it a go. He wasn't defensive on that shot. I think that was the right play. But next door neighbour wasn't home, so double 1.
4 scores.
It was a bit hopeful from Holt, and Campbell can take the lead for the first time in the whole match right here.
Game shot in the 9th leg. Matt Campbell,
1 leg away from victory.
Game on.
Doesn't even look like he...
Than some of the younger players that we've seen. A bit slower paced, but nice.
Still retain the class.
Yeah, it's a classy game. It's a classy visit. Unfortunately, to get to a finish, he needed 4 darts, and you don't get more than 3 per visit.
I have no idea where Christopher Holt's going to be in the world of darts in 10 years' time.
I don't know where he's going to be in 10 days' time. But in about 10 seconds, he might be out of the UK Open.
There should be a regulation finish for Matt Campbell. Sure, he wanted 16s, but he goes for tops. And now double 10. And Matt Campbell seals what was an uncomfortable victory. He shakes his head. Christopher Holt certainly provided some entertainment during that one. The young man who's got through is Thomas Banks, so the kids are all right, it seems. 6-3 against Graham Hall. Good setup from Mario.
16. You
could see it was super. This would be, it would have been a right old Donkey Kong of a shot.
Yeah, he'd have been the Wario to Super Mario.
99. Mario, you require 24.
Now we're showing our age. Double 12.
Game
No problem for Mario. First leg on this stage for him.
4th leg, Mario to throw first.
Ted Everett's currently 4-1 up against Jim McKee.
PDC TV today saying this is the kind of game that I miss. Be aware with the young'uns, we want to see a couple of veterans and see what happens.
This is a Dan Dawson sort of game, I think.
Oh, this has got Dan Dawson written all over it.
If you're watching, Dan, I hope America's all right.
Of course he's tuning in. He knows what's good for him.
What time will it be over there? It'll be quite early in the morning. He'll be up.
60.
He's on the East Coast, so it's probably breakfast time.
Yeah, he'll be up and alive.
Beautiful first start from Mario. And the second wasn't bad either. That's a 4-2 lead for the Belgian.
7th leg,
I think he might have fans in the crowd. That follow-through just looked a little bit wavery at the start of the match, but it seems to have smoothed out a bit. This is a scenario that a lot of players have been in when they've played a lot of best of 11 darts. You're 5-3 down, but you've got the darts in 2 of the last 3 legs potentially. Just guarantee yourself a shot at the break in leg 10. That must happen now.
Because that was a cracker of a visit from Mario. Options available. Goes for treble 20. Doesn't get it. Maybe that's his last start of the UK Open.
Mario, you require
2 16s then. And it will be Adam Gavlas next for Mario van der Bogara, who won the key battles in that. It was a 9-leg contest in the end, wasn't it? Because that was the 9th leg won by the man in long sleeves and just keeping himself a little bit warm for what is a chilly Minehead here in early March. I wonder how he would have taken that.
Maybe there needs to be an alternative non-ranking tournament. Just as many distractions as possible permitted.
70.
Again, nicely tidied up from Hughes. Florian not really challenging on the Hughes throw.
85.
He really doesn't like that third dart.
You require 24.
Yoza should take the lead again. Other side, Jamie. Well done. Definitely got a lot of fans out there. The man who made his debut in this tournament in 2012. Lost in the prelim round that year to Steve Hine, the Muffin Man. Everything that Yoza touches this afternoon is turning to gold. And every time Hemple finds a really good visit, it seems to be one visit too late.
There was a funny look on Hemple's face then of, yeah, this isn't great timing. I could have timed this all better.
I did not envisage Yoza missing that double 12 with those markers. Double 19.
Game
Oh,
shot
that's
in the fifth
incredible
leg.
from Hemple.
Straight at it.
Sixth leg, Florian to throw first.
He did it at 180 to leave that 95, didn't he? So that's 275 in 5 darts. That's one of the best conversions you'll see today. He hasn't missed a dart in a while.
He requires 16.
Cross to the 4s. Now downstairs.
12 score. Florian, you require 100.
Just a little reminder, Florian Hemple has not missed a double yet. He has now.
80.
And because of those misses, he's not in front for the
Germaine, you
first time.
require 4.
Things starting to get a bit edgy on stage 2. Hughes in the madhouse.
No score. Florian, you
Well,
require
if he goes on and
20.
loses this game, Jamie Hughes has got only himself to blame, because Florian Hemple,
Game shot
as he
in the
pins
seventh
double
leg.
10,
Florian,
and he's only averaging just
eight
over
leg
84
Florian to throw
himself.
first.
It's a pretty average display from Hemple.
3.
Well, the tail of the tape, Florian Hemple 71% on checkouts, Jamie Hughes 15%.
15% will never get it done.
140.
Not in this company. Now, this has been a very interesting match where Hemple, I'm sure at one point thought,
Florian,
I'm not going to win
require
this game,
126.
but if he hits this, he will win the game.
Another one of those. Leaves double 6. Oh, what a finish that is from Florian Hemple. Almost perfect on the doubles, and all Jamie Hughes can...
We don't have any Montenegrins. It's pretty much Boris, and that's it.
70.
Yep, carrying the hopes of the Balkans, really. There are a couple of other players from the Netherlands.
Just a few. Ooh, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Oh, big Boris with a big bash.
Second leg, Germaine
That
to
is
throw
special from a very special player. I said, I believe you.
I won't disturb you again.
first. 78.
Well, one thing that Germaine Watermina has not done yet is win a Pro Tour title. It's not for the lack of trying. He has been, for quite a few seasons, one of the best players not to have won a title yet.
140.
But he's on the comeback trail, doing more of this kind of thing. And that double 16 bed's going to get a bit of a bashing. If they keep doing that, this game isn't going to last long, but I just wonder what kind of quality we're going to see from maybe the next 9 or so legs. Could be someone like Dennis Bergh, maybe.
Yeah, Van Nistelrooy, Wesley Schneider, that kind of era.
Is he going to get 60 in bull?
81.
Well, we're holding our breath. He hasn't missed much in the way of doubling. Krutschmer to turn this game on its head.
Got to stay there, surely.
See, on that 142, I'm not sure that the bull was the right shot,
You require 49.
because he's given Watermina a shot at double 16 and he's missed it by a mile.
41.
Those 2 misses could
Boris, you
categorise this whole
require
game.
40. Game shot in the 8th leg.
Boris
Boris
breaks,
scratch one.
and all of a sudden,
9th leg, Boris
advantage to the big Croatian.
He wants to get this done.
14.
He wants a little bit of breathing space at the end of this leg as well. He does not want Boris breathing down his neck.
But maybe he'll have to put up with it. Well, this has been a really cracking game on stage 2.
51.
It might not be over yet as well, because an opening visit of 180 has been followed by 43 and 51.
I'd go so far to say this has probably been the best game of the afternoon and the morning, because we started at 11 o'clock. This is a feast for the darting fans on a day like today. Advantage Crutchmer. I think this game deserves an 11th leg. But Watermina could stop that with a real haymaker.
Treble 19 for the bull. No, it wasn't that close in the end.
I'm not convinced that that third dart was thoroughly comfortable in his hand when he threw it. How comfortable is Boris? That is a massive wide. Wow, that was for a single 16. That must have come out of his hand wrong. And now Watermina's got to put him away.
It was nearer to the 19. So double 16.
38.
Neither of these players wanting to win, it seems.
For a last leg decider, he needs 8s. And he doesn't get them. And Watermina feathered his last couple of darts at double. But he does find his way to the next round in what was a fabulously entertaining contest. Wins it by 6 legs to 4. Ultimately, it probably should have gone the distance, but it's a long way back to Croatia for Big Boris. Germaine Watermina will stick around to find out who he will play on Friday night.
And a hat stand. It's going to have to be the Ronnie O'Sullivan shot. 147. Not going to go.
95. Steve, you require 50.
Double 16. Well found. Beaton starting to cruise. I don't know if he likes cruises. It's an interesting switch. Scott to keep us going. Needs double 8. Oh, that's beautiful from Connor. Really good. In the past, I've seen him go treble 9 on that 67 shot, but seems to be a bit more flexible on the finishing these days.
The only time treble 9 he's ever aimed for is on that 67 shot.
He is an elite counter and also an elite thinker. He can plot his route to finishes better than Beaton. But the problem he has is that Beaton's hit more trebles. Even though he's on 162, it doesn't matter.
Single 10. That's lovely. Connor Scott is in the hopes and prayers part of the game now.
60. Steve, you require 32.
He needs more than that because Beaton has got his way through to the hat later. Great respect from Connor, but he bows out in round 3. Steve Beaton, question mark against his name. We're going to find out over the next 6 months who is going to follow in the footsteps of Chaz Barstow and Scott Williams from the last 2 years. 2 players who have revelled in the fact that they haven't had cards, but have still had blockbuster seasons. Who's it going to be in 2023? It's got a nice ring to it, hasn't it?
Oh, contenders there. I mean, Thibaut Trickle currently tops the list, so he's going to be the filler inner for Pro Tours until the next set of Challenge Tour events.
I like filler inner, by the way. Fill the tops, Yella.
92. Scott, you require 76.
So for an immediate break back. Ooh. Tops.
56.
He's a bit nearer to the 8 than he'd like.
20.
How close is this to the double 10? You don't need me to tell you. Just listen to Russ Bray. 2-0 Klassen.
Richie Edhouse, but he's averaging 102.5.
No surprise on my face.
Edhouse only on 90. Ted Everett's 4-3 up on going roll-offs. Mario van den Behada 2-1 up against Adam Gavlas. Another 170 attempt. This time can't get the second one done.
And not many spaces left in the hat. Only one more from this stage. Going 16s.
84.
But to no effect.
Yelly, you require 65.
Bolshy from Scott Williams. 13 for tops.
45.
it's conceivable that Klassen could be 5-0 up. But he's not. He's only 3-2 up.
Williams in this leg. Downstairs. Oh, maybe not.
Well, he didn't run the risk of not leaving a 2-darter, but obviously he was trying to leave 21. Oh boy, that's brilliant from Klassen. That's 274 in 5. Wow, just like what we saw from Hemple earlier. He had 275 in 5.
Things will get trickier for him, there's no question about that. It's how he deals with it, and he's dealing with this very admirably. That dart aside.
That visit went from awful to okay. Can he close out Klassen again?
Well, to send us to a last leg decider and become favourite for the match. Double 16.
Game shot in the 10th leg.
Wins it with such authority. We are going to a last leg decider. I could be right, we may well have saved the best till last.
I have no doubt in my mind that we have. This has been sensational, this game. And the fact that Williams is now throwing for it is bonkers. Klassen, no matter what he does, he will have to dodge a shot.
100.
For the match then. Go on, Scott, someone shouts in the crowd. Oh, come on.
Oh no. Oh no. Even a single 19 would have been better than that. Klassen does not get a match dart at the bullseye.
63.
Can Williams finish with an uppercut?
No. Not yet, anyway.
60.
Surely he's getting his match start now. He's getting 2. What a game that was. And what a fight back from Scott Williams. He's got every right to feel disappointed about going out in round 3. But Klassen paved the way to a match start after a few good leaves in that match.